from going into Jewel and Dominic's and thinking it's okay to spend $6 on a bottle of wine that has not been cared for, and shift that buying power just back locally. Everything is going locally via social media. You hear what I'm saying? Social media is just a channel to do everything that we wanted it to do. Everybody wants to get personal. Everybody wants to make everything local. So we take everybody on Facebook and we say, VineJoy has a wine in your ex-local wine shop. Stop in, mention VineJoy, get 10% off.
Okay.
Meet the wine shop owner.
So you want people to go into the boutique wine shop?
Yes.
You want that's where I buy my wine.
Much like
unless I go to
doing.
Sam's or something.
Right.
But
so we just provide that generation an incentive to shift their buying, not necessarily back, but more so to their local wine shop.
I'll admit, you probably because the younger generation's hard. Because when I went to college, it was all Bud Light, Miller Lite, Natty Light,
right.
Milwaukee's best beer.
Right.
But I worked in a nice restaurant, so I started drinking wine. They taught us about wine. That's where I got my love of wine.
Right.
So now I'm an adult and I like wine,
right.
but that's where I learned it.
Okay.
If you have a college student that didn't have to be a waiter or something and doesn't know
right.
wine, they still need to be turned on to it. You know?
So actually, your buying set is a whole nother marketplace.
Okay.
You're already savvy about what we're talking about.
Right.
But VineJoy as a business, we're also going after your marketplace. And another channel that we sell through is Winery Direct, but at wine parties. So let's say the winery is too small to go through the
wine parties. You're saying like a wine store.
Let's say we did this. Let's say you were like, I'm really into wine. I want VineJoy to come into my home. I'll invite 35 of my friends, and you bring wines that I cannot buy in Chicago.
Okay.
And we already have the sales channel set up to the wineries.
You've made the agreements with.
Yeah, that's already done.
Is cool.
That's
I like
already
this.
That business model. We just need more people like you that can get 40 people in their house.
Right.
And then we sell 20 cases to your friends. That the winery ships. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. No.
So, because the winery does not.
I'm in.
If the winery is small enough, they don't.
You've already sold me. And I have friends.
Okay.
Actually, we're gonna have a party. We're gonna talk after this, and I'm gonna do it. One, although Melanie's probably gonna beat me too on the May report, I'm gonna do a story on flyover gates. Two, I'm gonna have an event. And it'll be for you. We're going to get 30, 40, 50, 60 people together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a lot of these wineries don't want to go through the headache of the whole 3-tier wholesale channel. So we just help them. Although it's easy for them to get licensed to ship direct to consumer, we say to them, which is not a hard sell, although you might be licensed to ship direct to consumer in this market, that doesn't mean you're necessarily selling as much as you can direct to consumer. Because the margin on direct to consumer for the winery is much higher than it is. You know, if they go through this whole channel. It's not much higher, but it's higher.
Discount.
They don't necessarily have to, but they want the wine. They want you drinking the wine. The less channels it has to go through, the better for everybody. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, there's all kinds of politics around how wine can
now,
shipped,
tell me this. Can I have a party? Well, a bar wants to sell liquor. So what's the ideal, like, would you have it at a wine store? Would you have it at...
The ideal
my apartment's not big enough for 40, 50 people, but I can probably get 40, 50 people.
Then we find a venue.
Okay.
That's our job, is finding venues.
Okay.
That is just the easiest.
So you're saying you can find a venue, I can put the word out, and together we can bring all these people together. That's good for both of us.
Yeah, so the thing I was going to say, so the thing I just handed you is an invite chip. That's an actual aspect of the business that's just getting off the ground, and that's going to be small growth. The quicker growth is we throw parties like the one I just gave you for the Facebook group of people. It's at a beer bar, it's food, you come, you pay $30, you get tons of wine, tons of beer, hang out, and meet more people like this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But the people that we've thrown these parties for aren't necessarily interested in networking, they're interested in having a great time for not a lot of money.
Right on.
And we can make a good amount of money on the parties, everybody has a great time, meets more people, VineJoy's breadth grows, So we've got
great
4
idea.
or 5 channels.
So, and then at the party, do you have a tasting?
Well, so we've
because you say this wine's great.
We've experimented with that. And the people that are in my age group from like 21 to 33, let's say, don't necessarily give 2 shits about tasting new wines at a party. They want to come. Someone like me, when I walk into a room and I pay a cover, I don't expect to be sold anything else.
Right.
I want a party.
Right. Exactly.
And that's how we think.
Is that how you normally do it? You pay to get in?
Well, that's just one. Yeah. That's just one thing that we do. We throw parties. We throw wine parties or beer parties or wine dinners or all sorts of things. So we do events. We also wholesale wine here in the market, a small set of wine, and then we do this thing that we are talking about.
Well, have you ever done a free party where people get to